Hello everyone and welcome to the Anatomy of Knitting, episode 95. My name is Erin and I'm going to be your host. I'm recording today. It is April 7th, 2016, and it is a fairly nice day here in Cork, Ireland. I'm an American expat living here, and that is Ari. Let's see, it's been about 3 weeks since I last recorded, and a fair amount has happened since then. I think the last time I recorded it was prior to St. Patrick's Day. So we've celebrated St. Patrick's Day, we celebrated Easter, what else have we done? Oh, excuse me, we've been to the zoo, and my husband and I went to our first Irish wedding. So, yeah, those are all the things in review. And I haven't been doing that much knitting. I've mainly been, I think I have been 100% monogamous in all of my knitting, which I will show you in just a few moments. So let's get started. St. Patrick's Day here, I was hoping to take the boys to the parade that happens in our village, but sadly they run the parade at around, and there's Lola. They run the parade around, I think 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Excuse me. And the boys are still napping now and are kind of terrors when they don't nap. So we ended up missing the parade. But other than that, it was St. Patrick's Day was on a Thursday, which is their normal school day, but it's a national holiday here, so the boys stayed home with me. I believe I said I was going to record that day, but it just ended up being not such a great day for recording, so I postponed that. And then I think the next weekend may have been Easter. Let's see, pull up my calendar. Yeah, the next weekend was Easter. And what we did for that was I was hopeful for good weather. But sadly, we had scattered rainstorms, and so instead of setting up our egg hunt outside, I decided to, I don't know why, it's like once I start recording, cats decide that they have to be next to me, and I start yawning. So anyway, I apologize. So because of the scattered rainstorms, and I couldn't predict that the eggs would stay nice and dry, we decided to hold the egg hunt here in the house. So after the boys went down for had their breakfast, and they went down into the playroom, I politely and slyly excused myself and hid the eggs in this room and then upstairs on the first floor as well. Please, sweetie, I need you to sit down. Thank you. They've been occasionally eating their chocolate eggs, as they like to call them. Easter treats here are a little bit different than in the States. I have yet to see any Peeps. There's jelly beans, but not as like an Easter-focused treat. You can get jelly beans just as jelly beans and not as Easter candy. What else is pretty popular in the States? I can't think of anything. They mainly do just large chocolate hollow Easter eggs, and like maybe about that big. And they're usually themed, so there's like you can get a Cadbury Creme egg themed egg box. You can get, I got my husband a Toffee Crisp one, which included a large hollow egg, I think a Toffee Crisp bar, and then a mug to drink tea out of as well. So there's all sorts of different, and you can get fancy ones and not so fancy ones, and that seems to be the thing that's pretty popular here. What else, Lola? I think it was the day before Easter, we took the boys to the zoo. And it's not really a zoo per se. It's called Fota Wildlife Park. And there will be pictures at the end of the episode of all of the adventures we've had. Let's see. We were trying to think of something to do That would be kind of exciting and fun. And so my husband was suggesting all of these, like, well, let's get in the car and drive 2.5 hours. And Saturday, yeah, I'm trying to, okay, so I don't think we went to Fota. Yeah, we didn't go to Fota over Easter weekend for some reason. I'm thinking we did. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We'd done a lot of car driving that weekend, and I remember we went on Easter Monday to Fota. Usually the Monday that's after Easter is a national or a bank holiday, as they like to call it here. So my husband had it off, and that's when we went to Fota. So we'd spent a lot of time in the car that weekend, and so I wanted to stay more local than my husband did, I think. And so I had suggested we go to Fota because A, it's a lot of walking and it will exhaust the boys. B, it's a bunch of animals, which I know that they'll enjoy. And yeah, so we did that, and they had an amazing time. They were a little nervous in the beginning. I don't think they wanted to see the animals all that much, but they ended up really warming up, and Malcolm especially loved it. The way Fota is set up is that it's like this big loop that's over, gosh, I don't know how many acres, but a lot of land. I want to say it's maybe about 1.5 miles, maybe the full loop, maybe a little longer, maybe 2 miles. And so we went through the zebras, the cheetahs, the rhinos, the tropical house, the penguins, and we had gotten to the back of the park where there's a playground that the boys played in. We had a brief snack. My husband had gotten us some blueberry muffins, and we ate those. And then, excuse me, then we decided that we would walk back to the car and maybe have some lunch at the front of the park. Well, Nathaniel had seen, so they have this train that runs from the front of the park to the back of the park, and it costs, I think, about €1 to ride. And so Nathaniel just got it into his head that he had to ride the train. And we had literally just missed the train. Like, it had gone by us, and now he was like, oh, I want to go on the train. So I tried to get him to continue walking on, but he was like, no, I want to ride the train. There's nothing you could do to keep me from riding. So he and I decided to stay back in the back of the park and wait for the next train, which took about 20 minutes. And he did really well waiting in line, and really enjoyed the train ride back. Meanwhile, Malcolm and his daddy walked to the front of the park, and we ended up seeing them as we were riding into the front as well. They had taken a break in another playground that's on the way back, and apparently had a huge slide. So that was pretty fun for them. We had a short lunch at the front of the park and then drove home. It's about a half hour from our house, and then managed to get the boys in bed, and they took a fantastic nap. We have to run them ragged to get them to take fantastic naps. What else? Last weekend was the Irish wedding that we had. This is our first Irish wedding that we went to, and I had to buy some nail polish because all of my nail polish was confiscated when we moved here, and so I have kind of raggedy looking nails. I'm going to take off the nail polish as soon as I'm done here. I had to buy some. And we were kind of intrigued to see how things are different, wedding traditions wise here versus in the States. I made my dress to go to the wedding in. We also have a wedding that we're going to when we take our trip to the States next month. So I'll be wearing the dress at both events. And one thing that's different is that a lot of the ladies like to wear fascinators or really showy hats. And so I purchased one, and I'll probably put that in the at the end as well. The fascinator I wore. I ended up putting my hair back in a little bun, and then putting the fascinator back here. I sent my mom a picture with it like here, and it's just feathery and pretty. And anyway, so that's fun to see all the ladies in the fun hats. I'd gone shopping and was sending my husband all the pictures of the fascinators and stuff. Well, here, let me just. This is the picture I sent my mom. So there's the fascinator that I wore. And again, I wore it back here above that little bun. I had been sending when we went to the or when I went shopping, because I had to get a necklace to go. I had to get a necklace to go with the dress, and apparently it's no longer in my recently deleted. That's too bad. I was hoping it would. Anyway, I did get a dress and a necklace and some earrings and some pantyhose, I think. And so I was sending him pictures of all these other fascinators that I liked, but they were much more showy. So I ended up getting that small one. So the wedding started at 2, and it was at a church that's on the grounds of the college here in Cork. And it was in the church, and the church has no heat because, I think that's kind of typical here in Europe. My husband had told me that I should not wear my jacket, my raincoat into the church. So I just wore the strapless dress, or not the strapless, but the sleeveless dress, and a shawl. And I wore my Shetland triangle shawl to the wedding, which is made out of alpaca and silk in this gray colorway. And let's see. It was a Catholic ceremony. It's the first Catholic ceremony that I've ever been to, and I think my husband has been to. So that was an interesting experience. And then let's see, what did we do after that? We they finished getting married. Then we got in the car and drove over to the hotel where the reception was taking place, and I'm having a brain fart. The hotel, it was in this, the cocktail hour was in this beautifully decorated, they had all these wisteria blossoms, fake wisteria blossoms, hanging from the ceiling. They had hired a magician to come by and do tricks at the table, which was really interesting, and I really enjoyed. And had I had the opportunity to go back in time and do something different at my wedding, I would have hired a magician to entertain my guests, because I thought that was just a really unique idea. Then after cocktail hour, they rang the dinner bell, and we walked over to where they were having the dinner. We sat down, and they did all the speeches. So the groom spoke, the mother of the mother of the groom spoke, because the father of the groom had passed away. The father of the bride spoke, the best man spoke, and then they did the reading of the messages. And then we had dinner, and it was, I think a 5-course meal. So I started with a goat cheese tart, and then we had a bread course and a soup course, and then a sorbet course to cleanse the palate. And then we had our main course. I had got the monkfish, and my husband got the beef. And then there was a dessert course, which I had raspberry cheesecake and some raspberry and more raspberry sorbet. So that was delicious. Then they did the first dance of the husband and wife. There was no dance with, I know pretty common in the States is a dance with the groom and his mom, and then the bride with her dad. But that didn't happen here. They had a live band, which was fun. And I wanted to have some wedding cake. You can't go to a wedding without having wedding cake. And they had cut the cake But they didn't actually have the cake available for eating until, gosh, it was like 10 after 11 at night. And so we've been going since about 1:30, I think. Oh, excuse me. And I had a babysitter, so we needed to get home. And so I just had enough to get a nice cleanse of the palate with the wedding cake. It's delicious. Cake here is not... I find that cake here isn't as good as in the States. Buttercream isn't really much of a thing here, and that's kind of... I have a theory that you're either... When you eat cake, you either eat it for the cake or you eat it for the frosting. There's no in between. And I eat cake for the frosting, and my husband eats cake for the cake. And the cake in the... at the wedding was really good. Like, it was really moist and delicious, but they had a fondant frosting, which was, it was okay. I just wish I could find a nice, good cake and buttercream cake here. That's what I miss from the States, is good cake. A lot of the cake is dry, but thankfully the wedding cake was not. Let's see. That's about it. That's happened in the 3 weeks. I'm about 16 and a half minutes in. Coming up, I have another IPS meeting this weekend. I'm doing a presentation on zippered bags. So I typically put the presentation up. I record the presentation after I have given it over the weekend. I record it when the boys are sleeping during the week after. So that should be up on the website then, as well as the instructions on how to make it. And so it's ipscork.com if you're interested in learning how to make a zippered bag. I think it's over. I already have it in use to carry the cords for the projector that we take. It's our AGM this weekend, which is our annual general meeting, and it's apparently where all the formal business happens. And because this is the meeting that the people who have been on the committee for 2 years step down and new people come on. And there's maybe some discussion of who's going to be the next chairperson of the committee, which would basically be like the president of the group. And apparently my name has been floated around, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm happy with the job that I'm doing, and I will continue to do it for another year, but we'll see what happens. Okay. I think that's about it with catching you all up on things. So, let me show you what I have been knitting. This big black blob is the sweater I have been working on. This is I am having brain farts. This is the Harvest Cardigan by Tin Can Knits. This is a free pattern that you can download. I did through via Ravelry. I'll get back to the screen there. I knit this using US 8s, my signature needles. And what happened, I'm going to have to scoot you for just a moment. Yes, there they are. So I was using US 8s to knit this. And then look what happened. I have another cord that is breaking, which is super frustrating. Because it happened so quickly after the last one. So I took the US 8s out, and I think I found a US 7 that was like the same millimeter size. That was an Addy. Yeah, I think this is it. No, maybe not. Well, I made it work. Anyway. Here it is. Yeah, I think this is technically a 7 Addy, but looks pretty much... Well, maybe not. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I switched gauge halfway through because I didn't have another US 8. And let's see if you can tell. Let's see if you can tell. Nope, I cannot tell. This looks like a big black blob. I have, oh, you can really see the difference in in the skeins. It's not as bad in, well, maybe it is as bad in person. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I've been alternating skeins every 2 rows as much as I can do. This is Madeline Tosh Vintage in the Brothers Grimm colorway, which is like green over dyed with black. I think the last time I showed this to you, I had just, I was working on the increases for the collar. It's got this lovely garter stitch collar. And so I did that, and then I knit the whopping 15 inches of stockinette stitch from the underarms to the bottom. And now I'm working on a 4-inch garter stitch band at the bottom. And you switch to smaller needles at the bottom. So I'm knitting this on my US 6 signatures and expecting the badness of the breaking again to happen, which is kind of annoying. Don't really like, because I don't, it's inconvenient to have to contact them and get them to ship again stuff over here. So really frustrating. I don't think I'll, they will replace them, and that's a good thing, but it's just, again, it's, I don't know, maybe it's, because I bought these all around the same time, so maybe it's just the cord only has so much of a lifespan. That's the only thing I can explain, because the last signature that broke was just, I don't know, a month or 2 ago. Who knows? I don't know. I think I like something with a little bit firmer cable that's is a little more forgiving at the join. Let's see. Is there anything else? I don't think I have. So I told you I'm alternating skeins. Typically, you do that at the edge of the piece, but I have been alternating my skeins, starting the alternating after this garter band. So if you can't really see where I've been switching to the next color. I didn't know if you would or not, or switching to the other yarn. So I've been doing that in there, just in case you'd be able to see it, but it looks like you're not, so that's a good thing. Let's see, the other thing, there is that one of the sides of the garter bands I have to purl to get it to garter, just because I don't think I did the directions properly. Anyway, I'm at the point where I'm doing a garter band here at the bottom, and you can see now there is a difference between the garter of the band, where I'm doing knit stitches, and the garter of the purl. There's that little tiny ridge. But I figured this little tiny ridge would be less noticeable than if I had switched back to just all knit stitch. So we'll see what happens. I don't hate it. Kind of interested to see where this goes. I have, so these are the 2 skeins that I'm working from now. I know that little skein is not enough for 4 inches, but the problem is I think once I finish with that small small ball, I will disconnect, and then I will work on the sleeves, because I have these 4 skeins left, and I don't know how many skeins it's going to take to knit the sleeves, and I don't know how many yardage, because I ripped out a sweater previously, so I don't know how much yardage is in these super accurately, because I didn't count it when I rewound them. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to knit the sleeves before I finish that garter band, because if I don't have enough I'd rather have enough yarn for the sleeves, but not enough yarn for the 4-inch band. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see what else is going on. think much else is going on. I think that's about it. So, thank you for watching. There's going to be pictures from all the activities we've been doing since I last spoke to you. If you are going to buy a Craftsy class, please go and go to my website, www.theanatomyofknitting.com, and click on the ad that's on the right side. They track how people get to the site and are referred, and I get a little bit of money back for that, and it helps pay for the hosting fees of the podcast. And yeah, I think that's it. So, as long as the boys go to school next week, I should be recording another podcast. Again, hopefully I'll have a little more content than just the sweater. So I hope you all have a good week, and I shall talk to you then. Bye.